Brought to you by DK Audio.
DK Audio presents Still Beautiful, written and read by Katie Piper. To all those who have empowered me, there are so many of you. I try to pay it back by paying it forward. And to each person reading this book, may it help you to find healing and discover the untapped power within. Introduction. When I turned 24, I felt invincible. Petite, pretty, blonde, I was bursting with energy and doing everything I could to make it as a model and presenter. I'd been signed by a model agency and worked hard to stay slim so I could keep getting booked for shoots wearing tiny bikinis for lads mags that were so popular at the time. There had been some TV work too, mostly presenting on shopping channels or hosting quiz shows on satellite channels. But I knew that this was just the beginning. I was determined to do everything I could to make it, to go as far as possible. As my background was in beauty therapy, I knew how to make the most of my assets. The flat chest that had made me self-conscious as a teenager was taken care of with a credit card and an operation, boosting my confidence. I was too young to question the narrative I'd been fed, and I traded on my looks, living recklessly and unaware of my own mortality. I smoked, I drank. I didn't think about my diet beyond what would keep me slim. Words like aging and disability had no place in my world. At this point, I'd left behind the small town where I'd grown up and was living in a rented flat in North London with a group of friends. It was sparsely furnished, but we were incredibly house-proud. I loved the independence it represented, even if it did leave my bank account depleted at the end of each month. 3 or 4 nights a week, my flatmates and I would spend hours getting ready over multiple bottles of wine, then head out to the exclusive clubs. Our modelling agency put us on the club's guest lists. Inside, rich men paid for the tables and endless bottles of champagne, hoping to impress the prettiest girls. When I was in a relationship and spent the night with a boyfriend, I would wake up early and sneak into the bathroom so I could brush my teeth, wash my face, and quickly put on a bit of makeup and perfume, and then head back to bed pretending to be asleep. Women on the TV programs I watched always woke up looking beautiful, so I thought it was expected that I should look good at all times. Back then, I worried about the smallest things. I had no way of knowing that my life was soon going to change forever. A few months later, outside my flat in broad daylight, the act of one man flinging acid at me left me fighting for my life and needing me to be put into an induced coma. Even once I was out of the coma, there was a long sequence of hundreds of operations and a lifetime of rehabilitation ahead of me. Those few seconds outside my flat that day split my life into before and after. My youth, my beauty, the 2 things I'd built my life around were gone. I had also come close to death, not for the last time, but more on that later. When I turned 40, people started asking me how I felt about this milestone. The clear implication was that I would feel sad or even horrified. But my honest answer was, I am thrilled. I couldn't believe how blessed I was to be heading into this 5th decade. What a gift. All this got me thinking about life, death, youth, beauty, the way society tells us how we should look and behave as we get older, the ageism we see all around us and have internalized without question. And that's when the idea for this book began to form. Aging is a privilege that is denied to many. My life could have been over at 24, gone, just like that. But instead I'm here, and I get to live another day, riding out the highs and the lows of each passing year. So I wrote this book to challenge us to think about what we've been told, about our life being over once we reach a certain age, and society's obsession with beauty and youth. The acid attack meant I had to learn in the most brutal way possible that I am more...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?